as you know, this week, the Arizona legislature repealed the 1864 total ban on abortion. When the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the unconstitutional Roe v. Wade and returned the issue of abortion back to the states, we knew that this part would be messy and complicated. This is one of many issues for voters as we go into this important election. And it's obviously a very important issue, the most important issue for members of the media. Every press conference that I've had, I've seen many of your faces, you've been to those press conferences, and this seems to be the only issue that you seem to care about. As you know, I've outlined exactly where I stand on this issue. My goal is simple. I want to save as many babies as possible. And I want to help women. I want to help them so that they know there are other options available. I'll tell you a little bit about how I came to this policy. A year ago, had an opportunity to visit Hungary, the country of Hungary, and I learned that they cut the number of abortions in half and they never changed a single law. I don't think the only way to save babies is with laws. It comes with policies. This is pro-family policies. In Hungary, when you get married, they give you a tax rebate. When you have a baby, they give you another tax rebate. Any woman in Hungary who has 4 babies never pays taxes again. I want to explore these options when I get to DC, and I want to move on them when I get to DC, so it's more than just talk. We're going to push pro-family policies that make it easier for people to start families. We will improve the economy so that young people know it's affordable enough for them to get married and start a family. The family is in trouble because of bad policy. You know, we bail out big banks and big corporations all the time, but when is the last time we did anything to help families? I want to be very clear. As your U.S. Senator, I will oppose federal funding of abortion and federal banning of abortion. Ruben Gallego, my opponent, voted to spend hundreds of millions of your federal tax dollars on abortion. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled this is a state issue. States get to decide their abortion policy. Let me remind you in the media, my friends in the media, I am running for federal office. This is an issue that has been returned to the states. I think that some of you understand that, but more of you should look into it. Arizona knows that I want to help women, that I want to help babies, and I want to help families. You all know exactly where I stand on this issue because you've asked me about it hundreds of times and I've answered your questions. But unfortunately, for the people of this great state, of the state I love, Arizona, they don't know where Ruben Gallego stands. They don't know where his radical ideology is. You refuse to pin him down on his radical abortion policy. And I'm not sure why you're failing to do that. I think it's because many of you are foot soldiers for the DNC, the Democrat Party. Ruben wants to spend your tax money on everything except securing our border, reducing crime in our communities, tackling the homeless crisis on our streets, stopping the cartels from trafficking human beings, children, and a weapon of mass destruction called fentanyl. He's full of bad ideas. He supports sanctuary cities. He supports defunding the police and even had the gall to march and defund the police rallies. He supports asylum, job permits, and also giving people who are coming here illegally housing and resources that are meant for American citizens. And he supports men playing in women's sports. Ruben Gallego voted to send $270 million to Ukraine, including more money, $65 billion more just last week. Did you see him on the House floor waving around the Ukrainian flag like a pom-pom girl? And when Ruben Gallego walked out on his wife days before she gave birth to his firstborn child, served her with divorce papers, and ran off with a DC lobbyist, that shows you that he is willing to walk out on his family and he will walk out on Arizona. We all know that Ruben Gallego has been a disaster when it comes to our safety and our security and our economy. I want to save as many babies as possible, help women so they know there are other options available to them. It is a Democrat named Ruben Gallego who is actually the extreme one on this issue. I am officially challenging my opponent, Ruben Gallego, to a one-on-one debate on the issue of abortion.